Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Cut Line, presented by the Hoosier Network. Graham Nash and Andrew Hillsman joining you for yet another episode. Andrew, we're grinding to get these out. It has just been so difficult with both of us and our baseball schedules.
Oh yeah,
but
welcome to summer ball, man.
Welcome to summer ball.
It's grind time, but we've caught up, and hey, both our stories have been pretty good so far. So we're having fun. My team's doing a little bit better than your team. My team's 14-2, so
mine's 6-2-1.
Swamp Bats, okay, but the Swamp Bats are on a roll. We broke the franchise record for wins in a row. We won 11 games straight, tied the NECBO record. It's just nothing too crazy. Whatever. But yeah, so having fun in New Hampshire. You're on the Cape.
Yeah,
I got to get out there on an off day. Come catch a game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how long a drive that'll be. That might not be manageable. We'll see.
We'll see.
On the few off days that we have around these parts.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's great. Summer ball is summer ball. Have you gotten to know like some of the players yet? You don't travel with the team, right?
Not like on the bus, but we do go to the away games.
Yeah.
But are you on the bus? No way.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so fun.
Oh
Dude.
My gosh. That's so
College
awesome.
Baseball players are hilarious.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of dudes, man. Like it's fun. But yeah, no, it's been good. But listen, man, we got to talk some golf because this week and the week we missed, pure cinema.
Yeah. We're picking up. We're going back all the way to the U.S. Open, the 125th U.S. Open. It was a movie. Sunday was a movie. J.J. Spaun won the U.S. Open in what many have claimed to be the most entertaining closing stretches in U.S. Open history. J.J. Spaun, Tyrrell Hatton, Sam Burns, and Robbie McIntyre, and you can even toss Victor Hovland in there, were all within reach of the trophy at some point in those final 18 holes, and then J.J. Spaun made a 64-footer on 18 to win. Did you watch that live?
I didn't watch it live. We had a game.
Either.
But man, what a putt. Like,
dude,
that's like a 1 in 1,000 chance to make that putt. Like that's a breaker. It's going every which way. It's just happened to drop it at the right time. And I don't know. Did he need that to win? I think he had a little bit of a cushion.
Yes, he had a one-shot cushion.
Still, so you have to two-putt that. Even that's difficult.
That would have been such a hard two-putt.
But it's just the most perfect roll you'll ever see. Robbie McIntyre, a lot of class, applauding from the scoring room. Because how can you not, right?
Yeah.
Like he was just on fire. If you make one of those putts, I'd say you're a pretty deserving winner. And Spaun, after the heartbreak at the 5th major earlier in the year at the Players, didn't even need a playoff. I thought we were going to head for one.
Yeah.
Just based on how close that leaderboard was throughout Sunday morning and afternoon. But man, he just put it into overdrive. Like we've seen Scotty do, we've seen, Rory do, we've seen the elite players, and J.J. Spaun took a page out of their book and just found a way to get it done. That's one of those things that I think you, as a golf fan, you can't forget that for a long time.
Yeah. And you bring up the McIntyre reaction. That was phenomenal. But then also the Tyrrell Hatton one might have been my favorite. I think I like that one.
That was pretty fun too.
He was mid-interview talking about how disappointed he was, like total straight face. And he's kind of watching a TV at the side. It goes in and he just gets the biggest grin on his face.
Yeah, he just beams.
Like you could not watch that and just, it was so
aside from a very select few, right? And even nowadays, very little. These guys off the course are good friends.
Yeah.
And they respect each other. They respect good competition. And I think that was really clear. So, I mean, respect, especially Tyrrell Hatton, a LIV guy, right?
Yeah.
Celebrating a PGA guy's win. I mean, come on. Like, if you don't like LIV, fine. If you love LIV and you don't like the PGA, fine. Appreciate good golf. That's what we saw. And if the players can do it, then I think we can too.
J.J. Spaun, he was plus 12,000 entering the week. He had a 1.4% chance to win after 60 holes and a 73.3% chance to win after 71 holes.
Nuts.
And then he drilled a putt to win by 2. It's also a very cool story. I mean, you mentioned the players and how that didn't go his way. He had a long putt, I believe, on the 72nd hole to
Hmm.
beat Rory, and it came up this far short.
Yeah.
So for him to drill the putt at the U.S. Open and seal it, that's pretty cool.
Redemption.
But halfway through 2024, JJ said that he thought his golf career was going to be done. He was projected to finish outside the top 125, which that's when you automatically get your card for the
Yep.
next season. And he said that he at one point totally accepted that he was going to retire. He was like, I'm done. I've had a good run. I've got a family. I've got a couple kids. I'm going to retire. And he said the second he accepted that he was going to be done with golf, he went on a tear, got
Yeah.
inside the top 125, kept his card. I mean, if that's not golf, like,
It's
I don't
just
know what is.
screw it. I don't care about this. And you go out and shoot the best like back nine in your life. That's
Yeah.
happened to you. That's happened to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh gosh, I suck at this game. Why even play? You just stop focusing, and
Yeah.
you just do golf, man. Like
It
it's
frees you up.
yeah.
And
Now I feel like in Spawn's situation, it might have been a little bit more just okay. Screw this. I'm just gonna go out and finish this and see what happens. Because at that point, you're right. He didn't think he was gonna play next year.
yeah. And to go from that to now this is unbelievable. Here's what JJ
Insane.
Spawn gets for winning the US Open. $4.3 million,
First
which
off, casual, right?
casual, exactly.
Yep.
Got the US Open trophy and the Jack Nicklaus medal. 6,450 Ryder Cup points. So we could very well be seeing JJ Spawn now playing for the US Ryder Cup
Oh
team.
yes.
Also gets 75 FedEx Cup points, over 100 OWGR points. He is now ranked 8th in the world, which is
Hey,
phenomenal for him. He also gets a US Open invitation for the next 10 years and invitations to the other three majors for 5 years. He's also exempt for his status on the PGA Tour for 5 years and gets an invitation to the next five players championship. So this guy is going to be around for a very long time. That is so huge. I mean, for a guy
yeah.
that it doesn't get much better than that.
It's a heartfelt story, and I think golf is one of those sports where you see a lot of those.
Yeah.
Just every week when one of the big name guys fails to win, and you see a guy kind of come out of the woodwork, and obviously JJ Spawn not an unknown name to us, but to just your regular golf fan who maybe just watches the Masters or just watches the final round of majors. JJ Spawn is an unknown name.
Yeah.
So I think it's great to get all these guys extra recognition and you know, if you're playing well, you're gonna get eyes on you on tour. That's the best part about it.
Exactly. I do want to shout out a couple other guys that
Hmm.
really had a good week, but just couldn't quite get it done. How about Adam Scott? 44 years old, playing his 96th consecutive major, and he was still hitting a driver 187 miles per hour ball speeds. Was the only player to not shoot over par through 3 rounds. He shot 79 on Sunday to finish T12, but still, that was an unbelievable stretch for him and one of the nicest guys on tour. Like, couldn't have
Yeah.
happened for a better guy.
Do you know why Adam Scott is still able to hit the ball so hard? Like, I don't know. He has a good looking swing, if I recall. But like, I don't know how you can still. I mean, I'd like to hit the ball 187 miles an hour now.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I'd like to.
He's got a very simple golf swing. People talk about how it's perfect. It's on plane 24/7. Yes, but it's simple. There's no extra movement. And that's, I think, the biggest thing for him and his power and, his consistency as well, making as many major cuts in a row as he has. There's nothing that gets in the way. It's literally back and through. That's what it looks like.
He's top 40 in club head speed on tour.
Wow. Yeah, he does such a good job using his big muscles. There's no
Right.
small muscles that are working overdrive, which has also,
No.
helped his longevity.
You know who's third on average club speed? Gary Woodland.
He hits it hard, dude. He hits it hard. G-Dub.
Yeah,
Good for him. I didn't realize he was still sending it like that, but I remember
dude.
when he beat Brooks in the US Open, he hits it hard.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I also want to shout out quickly Victor Hovland. He hung around
Yep.
for a long time, went 71, 68, 70, 73 after some pretty
Yeah,
exaggerated
he
struggles in the early of the
struggled big
season.
time. Yeah, to see a guy who's a fan favorite now find that success, you wonder how much it can, take a toll on a guy if you're just not succeeding week in, week out, especially from a guy who we've seen success and who knows about success in Victor Hovland. So it's good to see him back in, solid play, but you know, you got to be consistent. And I
Yeah.
think that Hovland, maybe with these couple of performances, especially at bigger name tournaments, hopefully he's gotten back over the hump to say,
Yeah.
a la Mike Woodson.
Yeah, you're really channeling your inner Indiana right there with that that phrase.
Yep.
Before we move to the Travelers, I want to talk about some very controversial moments that went wild on social media the entire week long,
Yeah.
starting with Sam Burns being denied free relief from something that was clearly casual water.
It's unbelievable. I
That
don't know
was the
how
most
that
ridiculous
wasn't.
thing.
That was what I don't know. I didn't know if there was like a interview with, the rules official, the head rules official on why he wasn't granted relief.
Yeah,
But I just you see that and I don't understand it. I don't.
I
It
don't
doesn't
get
make
it.
sense. I don't know what the I guess criteria for the PGA Tour in a major or for the USGA to determine what casual water is, what standing water is, and what garners free relief. I don't know, what that is, but it seemed like that was pretty cut and dry to where, hey, you should probably get relief from the spot because you're hitting out of a puddle.
Literally.
I think I sent you a couple of these videos. I've seen a couple of short form videos online on like Instagram and such about like Sam Burns like 99.7% accuracy at the US Open, and it's some guy just dressed in full golf clothes talking to himself under like in his pool.
Yeah,
And like doing a full swing. It's the funniest thing. People are making fun of it, but
yeah.
it must have been what Burns was feeling like because there's
Oh.
how do you can't get a ball out of that at all.
No, I don't know how they let that happen. You literally you stand. This is like how unbelievable it is. Casual water is usually if you stand in an area where your golf ball is and water flows up, that's
Yeah.
enough. But
Yeah,
you didn't even
that's
have
what
to
I go with.
stand there
No,
for the
no.
water to be. It
Yeah,
literally
it
was like a
was
pool.
visible.
It
Yeah.
was in a puddle. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it. He made a
It's
double on
insane.
that hole. That's pretty much what took him out of
You
it.
see how much water splashed up when he hit that ball?
Yes, it was unbelievable,
Yeah, that's just
ridiculous.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Oakmont, this golf course, plays absolutely no favorites. How about
It's
Scotty
demonic.
Scheffler missing 5 putts inside 5 feet, and he finished 5 shots back of JJ Spawn? He makes those, and we're going to
He's
a
probably
playoff.
winning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. On
Yeah.
top of that, we saw Rory McIlroy smash a tee marker and then tomahawk a golf club. He's in some.
Something is going on with Rory McIlroy. I
Oh
don't know what
yeah,
it is, but it's not good.
we're talking about that more in a little bit
Yeah,
once we get to our
it's
gimmies.
it's bad.
Shane Lowry, fellow Irishman for Rory McIlroy, picked up his golf ball before putting his marker down, which he said was the stupidest thing that he's ever done.
It
Just,
happens.
it's just mentally
Yeah, it's
taxing.
yeah.
And then how about Wyndham Clark destroying a locker in the locker room at one of the oldest golf clubs in the
Yeah.
world?
Now, I think the funny part about this is that I think somebody ratted him out because the I don't think the lockers were labeled by name. I don't think.
Oh,
So I don't know. That's what I read, but like let me fact check that. Wyndham
he absolutely, for anyone
Park
that didn't see it,
locker.
he's like
Oh
these
yeah, he
two doors and
destroyed this thing.
just demolished it. And someone
Yeah.
said he was
Yeah,
like,
reports surfaced. Yeah. So I don't think it doesn't seem like the photo seemed like it had his name on it, but I think it leaked that it was Clark,
wow,
which is yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Well, someone said he was like, I've been in those locker rooms. I've seen some guys that you would never expect do
Oh
things
yeah.
that you would not believe. And it sparked a lot of curiosity. I kind of, golf
Yeah.
is
Who
such
does
a
it, right?
frustrating
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
Um, but that
Yeah, I
was a
pulled it
fun
up.
one.
These are not labeled by player name
Interesting.
at all.
Someone
Interesting.
ratted.
Yep.
You
Somebody
got a
ratted them
snitch.
out. Yep.
That's crazy. Let's move to the Travelers, our second
Oh man.
phenomenal golf tournament in a row. We have been spoiled this year. We've had
Oh,
such
completely.
good golf.
It's just insane.
It's
Every week it
insane.
gets, and I think I really hope that the perfect culmination to 2025 is going to be the Ryder Cup. Like
Oh,
I hope it's not like a European blowout or a US blowout. I want to see it go down to the very last point on Sunday. I
yeah.
want to see that.
I think we're gonna
I
get.
think
I mean,
everybody does.
at Bethpage Black, dude, that course is gonna play so tough.
Do you think it'll be harder or easier than Oakmont? I think it'll be a little bit
Easier,
easier. I don't think
easier.
anything could be hard as Oakmont.
No, nothing will ever be as hard as Oakmont,
No,
dude.
that was just diabolical.
Which, by the way, I wanted to come back to this. You said last week that you thought the winning score would be somewhere 3 to 4 under. I said
I
three
was
to
very
four
wrong.
over. I was
Yeah.
very wrong too. It
Yeah.
was
It
right in
was what?
between,
Yeah.
but
One under, I think it was.
one under. That's
Yeah.
right. Making a 64-footer to shoot it. Unbelievable. The Travelers, Keegan Bradley won his second Travelers Championship and his eighth PGA Tour tournament. But that was not the biggest headline. The biggest headline was heartbreak for Tommy Fleetwood yet again. Oh, you feel for this guy. He's
How
had
does it keep happening?
How does it keep
So
happening?
many seconds or T2s. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I
Tom.
thought I texted you. I said, this is not a drill. Tommy Fleetwood is in the lead on the back
Yeah.
nine on Sunday. And let's see. What happened? I said, yet another Tommy Fleetwood second place finish.
Yeah.
Disaster. Complete
He's
disaster.
he's had the most top 10 finishes on the PGA Tour without a win since 1983. That's 42 top 10 finishes. This was his fifth career runner-up finish on tour, and he has had five top 10 finishes in this season, four of his last seven starts. It's uncanny how this guy finishes in the top 10 but can't win.
Who
He,
was it that was early in the year? I think it was Thomas Crow, and we had an episode at school where he was just baffled by the fact that Tommy Fleetwood had never won a PGA Tour event. He was
yeah,
just totally shell shocked.
that was amazing. That's one of
We'll
my
have to
favorite
edit in that
clips.
clip and post.
Yeah.
I got to find that one and throw that in there.
Tommy Fleetwood has 8 international wins, none on the PGA Tour in 151 events played. He's made 128 of those cuts.
That's insane.
He's got to be,
Thomas.
guys, correct me if I'm wrong. He's
Yeah.
got to be the best player on the PGA Tour that
To
hasn't
never win.
won.
Yes,
right?
there's no doubt.
And he's had probably the most heartbreaking loss on the PGA Tour
Correct.
when Nick Taylor made that 80-foot
Yeah.
putt in Canada.
that was unbelievable.
And it was like that entire country won the lottery.
Yes.
Tommy
Oh,
was
yes.
just
Oh my gosh.
the Englishman standing there in the middle of the party.
Yeah. Oh
He's
my
finished in the
God.
top 5 25 times, has been runner-up 5 times, third place 5 times, and 38 top 10 finishes.
Yeah. 25 top fives and he's never won?
Yes.
Thomas can't believe it. That's wicked. I mean, I like Tommy Fleetwood a lot. I think he has cool hair.
It's so funny, but not funny for Tommy. He
No,
co-led
brutal.
the entire 17 on Sunday, lost on a 2-shot swing on the 18th hole, which I don't know if you've seen his putt on 18 get slowed down.
Yeah.
It was dead hard of the cup, hits a ball mark, and just gets thrown way offline. Like, not even something you can control.
No, he hit a good putt, and it's
Devastating.
just the course said not today. Gotta wait
That
a little longer.
Sunday might have been the most devastating sports day I've ever seen. That happened to Tommy Fleetwood. Tyrese Halliburton goes down with the Achilles, which I'm sorry to bring it up.
Yeah, that was just terrible.
I watched that live. I
Me
didn't
too,
care. I
yeah.
put the iPad up in the booth. I almost started crying.
It was
mid-game.
so bad. Like, okay, I'll admit that. Like, obviously, we're both from Indiana, well, you kind of are.
Wow.
We'll count. It'll count. It'll.
I get an
count
honorary
for
from
now.
Indiana. Let's go. dude.
It's fine. Yeah, but I'm from Indiana. I don't know as much. I'm not a big NBA guy personally, but obviously, a ton of our friends are.
Yeah.
It's just a laundry list. Sam Brunsman, Ian Plaskoff, a bunch of our friends are diehard Pacer fans. And to see that happen in the first quarter when Halliburton had 9 points in 8 minutes,
Yeah,
I think they would have won with him.
I do
I think they
too.
would have wiped the floor. I think Halliburton was going to drop 40 points. And it's one of the greatest what ifs now in sports history, I
It
think.
is. So is this freaking tournament for
Mhm.
Tommy Fleetwood. One of the greatest what ifs for Tommy.
Mhm.
He said after the tournament, he said,
we gotta get back to too much
I'm in basketball mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, in my mind, yes, I've won loads of PGA Tour events. I just haven't done it in reality, which is
I mean, fair. At least his confidence
Heartbreaking.
seems like it's still there to even contend.
Yeah.
But, I hope it's not wearing on him too much because, he's really good. Obviously, I look at the rankings for the Ryder Cup, and he's second on the rankings for the European team. We will see him
Oh yeah.
in Bethpage in New York.
Yeah.
You know who we might not see? Well, okay, we're going to see him. He's won enough, but he's dropping out of the automatic top 6 is our man Sepp Straka.
Oh no.
He's still there. He's still there. Don't worry. But
Okay.
Tommy
Yeah, he's had a
Fleetwood
tough
jumped
run
up
of
5
things.
spots
Wow.
since the last time we looked. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's in second.
Quick sidebar as well. If Tommy Fleetwood can go to media after that
Okay.
end of a golf tournament, literally I don't want to hear it, Rory McIlroy. You can go to
Rory,
media.
yeah. Dude, what is going on with him? I think we should just address this now. What is
Yeah.
going on with Rory McIlroy?
I don't know, dude.
He seems like his confidence is shot. He's not playing good golf. And he's playing okay golf, but it
Yeah.
seems like when he makes mistakes, he's just losing his mind.
Yeah. Dude,
It's very uncharacteristic for Rory McIlroy, in my opinion.
he said his motivation is at an all-time low since winning the Masters, which fair. I mean, he's been working his entire life, his entire career to complete the Grand Slam, and you finally
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that for 2 more majors, for the U.S. Open and the PGA, I thought it'd come back, but it just
Yeah.
hasn't. He did say that if he can't find motivation for a home British Open at Royal Portrush, that he's not sure what can motivate him.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
It is. He's only 36. And he's
Yeah.
still got plenty of years, probably 5-6 years of good golf ahead of him, as long as he can
Yeah.
stay healthy. But, I just, like you said, he has kind of completed golf. I think he's won a Ryder Cup. He's,
Yeah.
he's won every major.
He's won pretty much everything under the
I
sun.
guess the only thing is left is the Olympics, but like,
Yes, so he did say, I think coming into 2025, he said the 3 things that were left for him to check off were the Masters, winning
Right.
an away Ryder Cup, which
okay,
is
so he's got a
can be
chance
done
to do
this
that
year,
this year, right?
and then winning the Olympics, getting gold medal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, honestly, I feel like he'd be okay without one of those 3 things.
yeah.
And I feel like if he's not going to have one, although an Olympic medal is pretty sweet. Like
It is.
That's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's becoming
But yeah,
more.
I think I mean, it only came back in 2016. So there's been 3 since. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who won in 2020?
Xander.
Was it Xander?
Xander Schauffele won gold.
Yeah. And then Scheffler in 24, and
Scheffler.
it was Rosie in 2016, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Rio. I feel like
Yes.
Scheffler's Olympic gold win kind of has solidified that
This
that
actually
event
matters. Yeah.
matters, right? He was
I
so
agree.
emotional
Dude,
after winning that. It was awesome.
Win
to
for
kind
your
of see what it
country,
meant.
absolutely.
Yeah. But I just want to touch on this Rory thing one more time. He was asked, since we're talking about the media, he was asked about his decision to skip post-round media more often. And he straight out said, I'm doing it because I'm frustrated with you guys being the media. Which
I mean,
we talked
fair.
about.
He has a
media is
point.
not great.
He has a point. Absolutely, he has a point. But at the same time, I mean, Tommy Fleetwood's doing it, right?
Right.
He doesn't have the same problem. I don't know what Rory's problem is, but it's clearly not something that the rest of the golf world shares.
Rory said, quote, I feel like I've earned the right to do whatever I want to do.
No, I don't think so. Did Tiger do that?
I don't know.
I don't
wondered
remember
the same thing.
exactly, right? Because we weren't around, but I don't remember. I don't see anybody bringing up comparisons like today of whether Tiger did it, right?
Yeah.
I think guys have made waves in the media, but I don't think they've just outright. You remember the Brooks and Bryson feud from the late 2010s, right?
Yes.
And how big that was in the media. But both of those guys talked to the media.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't feel like when you are one of the top 10 golfers in the world, when you're the number 2 golfer in the world, I don't think you have, and this is obviously coming from somebody who has never won anything in professional anything, but I just feel like from a fan's perspective, that is your obligation. You do have to talk to the media and in, like, I guess indirectly the fans, because that's how we learn what the players are saying through
Yeah.
those interviews, through those press conferences. So I think to say you've earned the right to do whatever you want in regards to that, I think is maybe a little bit of a stretch. However, if there's something going on in Rory's head that he just doesn't feel comfortable with it, that makes sense too.
Yeah, someone said
It's a really touch and go situation. We don't know everything. But it's a situation where I don't feel like anybody's in the right. Like the
yeah.
media has got to back off a little bit, I think. At the same time, the other guys who are losing in heartbreak fashion are going to talk to the media. They're going to talk to the fans. I think it's your duty to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just want the media to ask better questions, dude. Like,
Dude, they're terrible.
let's just give this guy a good question
Like
once.
in other leagues like NHL, NFL, there are good questions that get asked.
Yeah,
If you're Greg Doyle, that doesn't count. But um, at the other side of things, golf media, you listen to some of the press conferences, and it's just not smart questions.
no.
It's like, why did you miss that putt? Why did you see the one this past week where Scotty was like, he got asked, hey, why'd you shank it out of the bunker? And he's like, well, you see, there's the club face and then there's the hosel, right?
Yeah,
And then when you hit the hosel, it goes that way.
I did
Like
see that.
that's how you deal with it. That's funny.
Yeah, why? Like, what even makes someone think that they should ask that? Like,
Like,
what goes?
of course he shanked it.
Oh,
He hit it out. It's a hosel rocket. Of course.
yeah,
Have you never played golf?
it's getting worse. It's getting
Mm-hmm.
worse by the minute, and it's really frightening. Because, the road we're leaning down or going towards is like they're going to make either the PGA makes media a requirement for players, which it's not. And Rory McIlroy said, like, thank goodness it's not in the same interview.
I don't think it
Because
should be.
he loves the luxury. I don't think it should be either. I think a guy like Tommy Fleetwood in that scenario should be able to just go home. I'm so impressed that he didn't. But we're either leaning towards that, where it's going to become a requirement, or people just skip media. Media just, it happens once a week, no post round.
Yeah.
And then we totally lose out on these guys' real emotions right after they play golf.
Losing post round interviews would be a shame. And I don't think that's something that's, guys don't want to go do post round interviews because the questions that they get asked are stupid.
Egregious.
They're terrible.
They're so bad.
Like, I think we talked about this early in the year. If we showed up to one of those and asked, as students, right? If we were in Jeremy's class this past semester, right? and we went and he got a hold of what question we asked, he would ream us.
Yeah.
Dude, he would be just like, what are you guys doing? Like any of our professors would be like, come on, guys, we got to do better than this. So
No,
I
exactly.
just feel like you got to come up with something better.
I agree.
Anyway, enough of ragging on the golf media. There's still more excellent golf to talk about.
There is.
Let's talk about Sepp Straka and JJ Spawn.
Oh, it is just a great example of how humbling golf can be. Sepp Straka and JJ Spawn were both tied for 68th at 7 over at the Travelers. That's the last thing we'll say about it. Straka, one of few to have won 2 PGA Tour wins this season. And Spawn just won his first major at the hardest golf course in the world, and he's 7 over at the Travelers. So, that's just golf, man. That is a great example of golf. And the Travelers was a crazy tournament through and through, from top of the leaderboard to bottom. It was a good one. Let's talk about
two in a row. Great.
Yeah. Let's talk about the KPMG Women's PGA. We got another major championship. Minjee Lee won her 3rd major title. That is Min Woo Lee's sister.
Let her cook, I guess.
Let her cook.
Maybe. Sure.
I wonder if that's.
I don't know if that's. I don't
if
think it
that's a
is.
thing.
But hey, good for her, man. That's 3 major titles. You're up there. You're pretty darn good.
Yeah. Minjee was one of 3 players under par. People were saying that this tournament played a lot like a U.S. Open and a lot like Oakmont. The tournament was in Fields Ranch East in Texas, with extreme heat and rough that was, quote, Oakmont level, according to many reporters. Rounds were also extremely long. Nelly Corda said, quote, I think we played a 2-ball in like 6 hours.
That's insane. That's
ridiculous.
No.
No, it was ridiculous. But this tournament a little bit more surefire from the beginning of Sunday. Minjee was in the driver's seat all Sunday long, despite shooting a final round 74. It's just kind of how hard the course was playing. She was in control the entire game long. But something interesting that you've written down here.
Yeah. So, I heard, I don't think there's any official chatter on this. I don't think there will be, but women's golf has 5 majors. Men's only has 4. In any world, do you think that if they were going to add one, obviously it has to be the players. There's no other, it has to be the players if they're going to add a 5th major. But is it needed? I don't think it is personally.
I don't either. The players kind of serves that role anyway.
Right.
So
it doesn't need to be officially a major, but I think it's such an elevated event that it's almost treated as such. And that's, I think, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I had to fix my light.
No, all good, man. Yeah.
But we got a good one
the
coming
Rocket
up.
Classic this week. Yeah.
Classic. Defending champion Cam Davis. We've got a couple notables playing. Patrick Cantlay, Ben Griffin, Keegan Bradley coming off his win. Colin Morikawa and Cam Young. Should be a fun tournament.
Yeah. A little bit of a lighter field, but always quality when it comes to the PGA this year. It's been just impressive week after impressive week. There's not been, we can count on our hands the amount of time I feel like that has been just a total blowout win, other than Scotty Scheffler at the Byron Nelson. That was kind of, that was a blowout in blowouts terms. But so something that I found this morning is that Colin Morikawa is making yet another caddy change. That's his 2nd of the year. Wow. And so after just 5 tournaments, this is from Yahoo Sports. I'm reading this. So quote this. Morikawa and looper Joe Greiner have split. So Korn Ferry Tour KK Limhoust? Limhousett. Sure, we'll go with that. Morikawa's former college teammate at Cal is going to make a spot start on the bag for this week's Rocket Classic. Cool. Yeah. I think that's awesome. But the interesting part is that Greiner was hired by Morikawa after parting ways with the only caddy of Colin's pro career, J.K. Yakovac, but following the RBC Heritage in late April. And remember, Greiner has been all over the place this year. We've mentioned him like 3 times.
We have.
Because he was Max Homa's longtime caddy, worked a couple of tournaments for Justin Thomas, and won a tournament with Justin Thomas at Harbour Town.
Right.
So he's been all over the place. But Greiner and Morikawa were not able to achieve anything better than tied for 17th. So Morikawa is going to try and change it up, see if it works this week. No one is sure who Morikawa will have on the bag after this week. So I wonder if this is just a, lower profile tournament, have some fun with your old college teammate.
Yeah.
If it is, awesome. But I don't know if that'll be a permanent thing. I wonder if Greiner will come back.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Greiner is all over the place, man. We'll see what happens there. We've also got a LIV tournament this weekend. LIV Golf Dallas, June 27th through 29th. Current standings, little update. Joaquin Niemann is in the lead for the individuals, followed by Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm, a stacked top 3. Exactly what
Niemann
looking
leads by 45 points because he's won 4 or 5 or whatever events. He's just kind of been on a tear. Best player on LIV this year. I would like to see him contend for a major.
He got cut at the U.S. Open. I was going to bring that up. He missed the cut at the U.S. Open.
Okay, that's not a good look for LIV, people. It's not.
I couldn't believe it, dude. Because he won the LIV tournament right before it.
Mm-hmm.
He won the LIV event right before.
But I don't think any course on LIV is ever coming close to what Oakmont is, ever.
Oh, no.
It's just not even, you can't compare it. It's 2 different games.
Yeah, seriously.
The team competition, a little closer. Legion 13 has the lead, followed by Crushers Golf Club and Fireballs Golf Club. So, John Rahm's team, Bryson DeChambeau's team, Sergio Garcia's team.
Wow. That's not surprising.
Yeah, not at all.
Let's go to our gimmies, our quick news hits. We got a lot down here. We're not going to get through all of them because we don't want to make this an hour and a half long episode.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple from the U.S. Open. Brooks Koepka said that things got really heated between himself and Pete Cowan in a bunker at Oakmont for 45 minutes. It got so bad that Justin Thomas afterwards came over and checked in on him.
Now that's Pete Cowan, I believe, is Brooks Koepka's coach.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
But it led to a result. Brooks played really well on on Thursday. So whatever he said to him worked. He made the cut. It was the first time I think he's made a cut in quite a while as well
It's
at a
been a
major.
minute. Yeah. See, he was cut at the Masters and cut at the PGA. So his first major, he finished tied for 12th. So a
Yeah,
solid event. And, obviously everybody was over par except for JJ Spawn. So,
right.
yep.
We've got another Rory McIlroy mention. He was on the verge of missing back-to-back cuts for the first time since 2012, but birdied the 36th hole of his tournament to make the cut. So that's pretty impressive. That's pretty clutch from him, but just didn't really compete. Scotty Scheffler went viral for being very frustrated with his driver on the range after the second round of the U.S. Open, showing a lot of emotion that we really haven't seen from him,
Yeah.
and that he was frustrated. This guy he doesn't get rattled usually.
No, he doesn't, but he has mastered the disheveled golfer look when he like cocks his hat to the side and he's like, what is going on? He looks like your average, weekend hack trying to figure it out on the range.
Right.
Maybe we're not too different.
Yeah, maybe Scotty and I aren't that.
No, we are. It's don't get delusional. We are.
Thanks. I need to be brought back down to earth there. Bryson missed the cut at the U.S. Open. He was the defending champion. Many wanted him in the booth for the weekend. I thought that would have been pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I think that's something that Bryson might go into once his playing days are done. But
I agree.
I assume that he probably left and went back to his house to relax for a little while after Oakmont.
Yeah.
Those first couple of days, can't blame him. I wouldn't want to stay there after that course. Just kicked my butt. If I were him. So I don't blame him. But yeah, I think that's interesting. I think that's something we'll see down the line. But I don't know if it's something that was allowed based on his contract with LIV.
Oh, true. Very, very true. Although the USGA might not care because they're separate from who knows.
Yeah. It's
so.
But then you run the risk of, because obviously you probably have to pay him for it, and then CBS versus Fox, right? Because Fox has the LIV media rights deal. Who knows how far that extends? It's something that I think we will see at some point.
Yeah, I agree. Coming into the tournament, USGA CEO Mike Wan revealed that 1,385 players have played in a major championship at Oakmont, and only 27 of them finished under par over the course of the 4 days. That's now only 28. Wow, JJ Spawn just immortalized himself.
Yes, he did.
Golf royalty. That's
pretty elite group there to play pretty well there.
Extremely elite. Since the official World Golf Rankings were created in 1986, only one player has won the U.S. Open while ranked number one in the world. That golfer, Tiger Woods. He did
Your
it
weekly
3 times.
Tiger crazy stat. Here it is.
Your weekly crazy Tiger stat. He did it 3 times, dude.
Wow.
I kind of wish I knew
that.
I
mean, he had a lot of chances, to be fair. He was ranked number one for a decent amount of time. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me if there's going to be somebody to do it. That's Tiger. But there's your weekly crazy Tiger stat.
Yep. Neil Shipley had an unbelievable prediction going into the U.S. Open. He said that someone was going to come out and shoot 66 in round 1. JJ Spawn did just that. But he said that they'd back it up with a 72 or a 73. JJ Spawn shot 72.
He sees the future.
He does. He was all over the media. He was doing a really good job. I was impressed with the content that they were putting out with Shipley.
Yeah. Shipley, he seems like a down-to-earth, fun guy to listen to. That's a guy, like, how, who is it? Smiley Kaufman is on TV now.
Yes.
I feel like Shipley would absolutely be on TV once he's done.
I agree. I totally agree. But he's still working his way to the tour.
Very
he's on the
young,
Korn Ferry.
right. Yeah.
Very young.
I forget that he's still on the Korn Ferry.
Yeah.
That's right. Wow.
He is. JJ Spawn's dad shared a super casual social media post on Threads when JJ won. He said, quote, "My son JJ won the U.S. Open today with this amazing putt on the 72nd hole. So proud of you, son." And it's a picture of, JJ going nuts.
It's this grainy photo off
people.
of like it. Yeah. It's like zoomed all the way in on an iPhone that is probably like 5 years old. I compared it to, like, it's the classic dad Facebook post that you see if like a kid won his little league baseball tournament or something. not your son winning the hardest major in years. Like,
oh my God.
I think it's awesome though, because obviously you can just see it's genuine pride. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny. But that went viral. It's like my son won the U.S. Open. So proud of you, son! Yay!
Yeah.
It's like
So
it's
casual for
yeah,
a
it's like he's
unbelievable
12.
feat.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Awesome. Some
What
non
tied that all together is that grainy photo from the digital zoom all the
yeah,
way in. It's perfect.
it's so funny. Some non-US Open gimmies. Jay Monahan is stepping down as the PGA Tour commissioner at the end of
Yep.
2026.
Yep.
Very interesting news.
Yeah, so what I read about this is that they're going to change. Brian Rolapp is going to come in, who has been with the NFL for over 20 years. NFL's doing pretty good, so I think he'll be good. But
Yeah.
what I thought was interesting is that Rolapp is going to function as the CEO of the PGA Tour, and there'll be a more ceremonial commissioner. So Rolapp will
Oh,
make the decisions as the CEO rather than Monahan as the commissioner, which is just maybe just a change in title, but maybe Rolapp, it seems like he's got the eye and the mind for the financials of the PGA Tour and all that, which is why I guess maybe he's operating as CEO. But I thought that was
yeah.
interesting. Interesting because most sports leagues have a commissioner. Like Rob Manfred is the commissioner of baseball, Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, Gary Bettman, Adam Silver, all those guys. Now, Adam Silver, is he just the commissioner? I
I think
don't
so.
know. Yeah. Yeah, he is. So, yeah, it's all, but this one a little different this time.
Yeah. James Pyatt, former U.S. amateur champion, was one of the first to defect to live in the summer of 2022. This is coming back
I
to the
haven't heard
Rock.
of them. I haven't heard of them since then. So,
No, me
that's
neither.
fair.
Coming back to the Rocket Mortgage, he hasn't played in a live event since 2023, which makes him eligible to return to the PGA Tour. The Rocket
Ooh.
Mortgage Classic extended an invite to him because he's from the Detroit area. That's where this tournament's
Ah,
being played.
yes. Yep.
And so he will be the first former live player to receive a sponsor exemption on the PGA Tour,
Wow. So
making some
that's a
history.
groundbreaker. Yeah. I don't know how well he'll play because, he hasn't played a live event since 2023, but the door is there, I guess, if you wait long enough, which is, I guess, good.
Yeah. Crazy that we're seeing our first kind of make the change back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonder if he's going to be the
It
first
could
of
it could
many.
start a cascade. Yeah, you never
Yeah.
know. We've talked about the contract situation with Brooks and Bryson. I don't know if there's any more news on that front.
Not that I've seen.
Let's see. Yeah. So DeChambeau, his contract expires at the end of next year. But I think he wants to reach a new deal with Liv. So
Mm,
um, that's what the reports say. Those
interesting.
reports came out earlier in June. So I don't think he'll leave. I think,
Mm-mm.
Liv allows him to do all the YouTube stuff that he likes doing, and that a lot
Exactly.
of us like. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But you and I learned that Liv controls that YouTube channel. He doesn't.
Right.
Obviously, I'm sure he has a say in it, but it is, I guess it must be, Liv at the end of the day that I'm sure they
Crazy.
give him creative freedom though, just based on what he puts out.
Yeah. A couple Travelers gimmies before we get to made or miss. Jordan Spieth said at media before the Travelers that he threw a few beers back after the U.S. Open on Sunday. Said it's not his normal behavior, but that after the U.S.
That's
Open,
good.
sometimes you just need to,
Yeah, that's
take a load
fair.
off.
Playing that course, can't blame you at all.
Yeah.
What do you say? It's young enough where it doesn't affect him too badly the next day.
Yep.
Okay, we see you, Jordan. Fair play, fair
Fair
play.
play, Jordan.
That's funny.
He's hilarious. He did, however, have to withdraw from that golf tournament, which made it his first withdrawal from a PGA Tour event in 297 starts. And I don't know why he withdrew. I didn't see. I hope it's not that wrist because he's been playing. He's kind of gotten back to pretty good form after he
It's a
missed so
shoulder
much
blade
time.
injury.
Shoulder blade.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, he's not playing this week, so he'll have some time to get that into shape before
Yep.
the next big one. We're already through. This is unbelievable. We're already through all of the elevated events and
Yeah.
through 3 of the 4 majors. Golf is this season's almost done.
I know. Do you think they should move the PGA back to August?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should not. We're halfway through the year. We should not be
Yeah.
done with 3 of the 4
Pro
majors.
golf. Yeah. I don't think it's. Yeah. I'm not a fan of it.
Me neither. Ricky Fowler shanked a ball on his first hole at the Travelers and called it, quote, a Spanish fade.
Oh yeah. Don't know where that comes from, but
Me neither.
sure. That'll be put into the lingo on the course. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Harry Hall spent Saturday morning in an ambulance at the Travelers, but refused to withdraw, finished T9, and said, quote, anyone else would turn up to work sick if they could make 250K.
Yeah. I would too.
It's fair.
See,
And
what
then,
was it? It's a stomach bug, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't believe that he finished that high.
Yeah.
Our last gimme with the win, Keegan Bradley vaulted up 8 spots in the U.S. Ryder Cup rankings. Will he be the first playing captain since Arnold Palmer in 1962?
Yeah, I don't know. It's possible, man, because obviously we haven't seen it in a while. Tiger didn't do it, but he was just, a shoe in every year.
Yeah.
I don't know because it's 2 events. It's not too far away. I don't know. We got to see how he plays at the British Open, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And is it ultimately his decision? I assume it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
It's his
I don't
decision.
know.
The last
Can't
playing,
imagine, but yeah,
the last playing captain that we saw in general was Tiger at the President's Cup.
right.
But I guess it's been since Arnie for the
Wow.
Ryder Cup, which is
Huh.
wild. He did say, a lot of people were saying, like, Keegan, step down as captain, let Tiger be captain, and then you can play. And he said in an interview with Rappaport, he said that he is not stepping down, that he wants to be captain, but that winning this tournament has honestly made things more complicated. So
Yeah, no, I bet. Yeah, that's
We'll
not a
see.
surprise.
we'll see what he does. He's still got a lot of time. We'll see how his form changes coming into the latter half of the season. Time for made or missed. I got 7 points from the U.S. Open. We didn't do this for the Travelers, of course.
Right.
We both got 7 points from the U.S. Open, so I'm
It's still close.
still close. I got a
Not
3
pulling
point
away yet.
lead. I got a 3 point lead. Let's lead things
Zoom
off
for at these. Yep.
with Ben Griffin.
I'm saying, yeah, I like it.
I do too.
Shoe
He's
him
in
in.
such good
Shoe him in.
form.
Yep.
So I'm going to say made as well.
Yep.
Hideki Matsuyama.
Okay, now we haven't talked about him in a while. He was the first event winner this year on tour. I believe that was all the way back in Hawaii. That's his only win this year. And he has been made some cuts. He at major championships, he's been decent. He made the cut at the Masters, missed at the PGA, made it at the US Open. With this field, I think it's safe to say he's going to be playing on the weekend.
I agree. Our third guy, we got Luke Clanton. I'm happy to go first. I'm always riding the Luke Clanton train. He's gonna make it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no this week. Gotta defer on some of them here.
What do you say for Wyndham Clark?
He has to, right? I mean,
Make it
he's
or
gonna
miss
be
it?
motivated. He's got to make it. I think he's gonna be motivated enough by not playing well at the U.S. Open, and he needs to get it back on track. Perfect weekend to do it.
I think he's gonna miss it.
Ooh.
I think
okay.
he's gonna miss it. I think he's rattled. I think he's a
You think
rattled
so?
guy.
All right, we'll see. It's possible.
Yeah.
As he played, I mean, obviously, it definitely was after he played poorly at Oakmont. That was pretty clear. Akshay Bhatia, what do we think?
I go back and forth. I think he's gonna make it.
Me too. I'm with you. It's got to be. Maybe I want to see him contend. We haven't really seen him contend late into a weekend as much as we kind of predicted this year.
I know. What about Alex Noren?
I'll have you go first on this one.
He's a consistent player. He's always, I feel like he's just always on the weekend. I think he's going to make it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, results. He's only played 5 events this year, and he's made the cut in 4 of them. With this field, I think we say, yeah, let's do it.
All
Have
right.
him in.
Michael Kim, what do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I go back and forth with him.
Yeah.
I think I'm with it, though.
Yeah.
Max Homa.
Max Homa is an interesting one because he has also been right on that line. He's, been consistent at some times and then wild to start the year. I say no this week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think he's found his form a little bit. I think he's going to make it.
Okay. I'm trying to make up some points here.
I see. I think Gary Woodland's going to miss.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know. The top end of the field is a little too tough, but I'm going with Cameron Champ. I say, why not? I'm a believer.
Wow. Cameron Champ's going to make it?
Sure. Why not? Let's do it.
I'm saying he misses.
Okay.
I'm also going to go back and say that Michael Kim makes it.
Okay.
I'm changing
Just to
that.
spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Last thing to do, give me your winner for the week, Andrew Hillsman?
Well, let's have a look at how the odds look. I like to go on those and see. Our favorite to win this week is Colin Morikawa at plus 1,200. Obviously, no Scotty Scheffler this week.
Nope.
Keegan Bradley plus 1,600. I am going to say that Siwoo Kim wins this week.
Siwoo Kim.
Yep.
I like the pick. I didn't expect it.
Yeah. Scroll down the list. Yeah.
Plus 3,500 for Siwoo.
Yep. Yeah, let's go with it.
Nice.
Are you gonna go further down on this list? I'm curious.
I'm gonna go a little bit above you actually.
Okay.
I'm going with Ben Griffin.
Okay, I like it. Yeah,
I'm
that's also a
riding-
really solid pick.
I'm riding the Griffin train. He's
I
playing
like it.
so well, dude.
He is. Yeah,
He's
been
also
consistent.
he's been so fun. He
is.
I mean, with those glasses, dude. The
Yes.
sunglasses,
Yes.
he's so
Big
fun
fan.
to watch. Wow. Well, we got through a lot in a
We
short
did.
amount of time. That
We
was
did.
that was pretty well done for us. We're known for going over
Dragging
an
it
hour.
out a little bit.
Yeah,
But that one breezed right through.
That's right.
Covered 2 events.
3.
Hopefully we'll be able to 3. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 events.
Took obviously we had to recap the US Open since we missed that for you guys last week, but a little refresher and we're back at it.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get in next week's
Summer ball
episode.
schedule, it always changes. We'll see if
Yeah.
we can.
We will post as often as possible, but you never know what's going to happen. So no guarantees, unfortunately, that we will be back next week, but we will be back soon. We will keep posting when we can. But that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode of The Cut Line. As per usual, I'm Graham Nash.
And I'm Andrew Hillsman.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.